Hi there, knife people. Hello, lady and gentlemen. Today will be interesting. About a week ago, I published a video about a couple of Medford knives that I recently bought and how unhappy I was with the edge and sharpness and symmetry and other issues. So today I was on the phone with the customer service at Medford because I was ordering yet another knife. I love their knives. It's just these had issues. And I actually have 3 now and another on order. So I digress. So when I was talking to the customer service, I mentioned that I have a YouTube channel, and she offered me to send the links of my videos to her. And then obviously she forwarded to Mr. Greg Medford, the owner and CEO of this company. And today he had 2 videos with a response to mine bitching about his knives. I'm gonna show some excerpts. Let's watch them together. If you're interested in watching how I'm gonna address all these features,
you can see why
next I'll be explaining
I've talked about this
why
for years.
I marked this knife with a black marker at the tip and what am I going to do with it. All right, when I folded the
This
knife,
is super
I
fucking
noticed
annoying
the
to me
tip
because I've talked
asymmetrical.
about this 1,000 times.
Here's another shot of it side by side with the first one.
Unacceptable. It's the first thing you ought to be looking at. You should not be looking at the composition of the knife on a card. That's not your business. Okay?
And I
You
marked
get
the
your
center.
fucking sharpening right.
Center
Center is
edge
sharp.
is an
I'll take
amateur
back to
mistake
the
that should not be
factory,
permitted on a $700 knife. Look how the width varies consistently from one end to another if you flip the blade on the other side.
Now,
That's a
you
simple,
wouldn't say
very
anything about that.
amateurish problem.
And it is.
Basically, the jig that held the blade when they sharpened it was not squared or perpendicular to the grinding medium. All right, next is a minor problem in comparison
So this
to
is a
not
big
cutting
problem right
paper
here.
and being totally asymmetric.
This is a departure from the design of the knife. Where's that plunge line supposed to be?
So if
Back
that
in the center of the choil.
1/8 of an inch farther up the blade or toward the handle.
So because the plunge line is too close to the edge is too fat right there, right? So then you go to sharpen it, and it leaves a little sharp tooth up, and then he does a video saying it's an amateurish job sharpening. Guys in the room there, I'm sorry it had to be on a spot like that. But, you know, that was an unintended consequence. Apologies. And so Greg goes on for 3 or 4 minutes explaining to these guys why quality grind is important, which is a good thing to do. And that's where they end up. These are expensive knives, as you well know, and being handmade, it's got to have a craftsman's judgment on them. And that's a misjudgment right there. Okay? So let's stop letting that stuff get through. We just can't ever have a plunge line like that next to the beginning of the choil where it meets the edge. You've got to have that plunge line far enough back that it gives you room to put a nice symmetrical bevel edge along there. Now, this guy goes on for 11 minutes, and the problem is he gets some more knives from us, and he loves our knives, and he's happy. And he sent some stuff in, we took care of it. The problem is, this damage is already done, it's already out there. Greg, I'm sorry I'm going to pour a little bit of fuel on this fire, but I'm just trying to be helpful to you and all the rest of us. So, this knife is the infraction that you saw in the video a second ago, and this was manufactured in on July 19th, 23, so very recent production. The other knife I bought simultaneously was much older. It was manufactured in May of 22. So it's been around for basically 13 months, 12 to 13 months. And the reason is I probably am the only idiot. This knife did not cut at all. Like I have another video about what I had to do with this one. Anyway, it was such an emotional buy for me that I bought them too on my birthday, which happens to be on the National Knife Day, August 24. And so being emotional, I didn't pay attention to detail and might have not bought them if I noticed the edges. But I still love them. And then lately I was in the same store, and this one is a Nosferatu S45EN, manufactured in December 22. So there are 6 months apart, and all 3 have issues. Now, Nosferatu is the best by far out of the bunch because it cuts paper really nicely, and it has a beautifully, almost mirror polished edge. Beautiful job. And something that
person who put the edge on could not help. The plunge here is also too close to where the sharpened edge starts. And in this design, it being a dagger style, I don't know how much back can you move it. Don't see much room there. So that little choil you might have been better off with this choil being a little larger. This is what I was actually thinking about doing, but I'm not going to mess with this knife. This knife cuts. It's a work of art. This stays intact. Just a little distraction here. I want to show you guys my collection in a newly acquired display case, and I wanted to show you where my Medfords live. There are 3 of them right here, and they're in a good company. Here's a Terravantium knife. Here's a Lamic Tactical. This is American Blade Works, and I got a couple Protec, Heretic, Glycon over there. So Greg's knives are in a really good company here. And my plan is to add, so I have another Medford coming in this week, and I have the OTF on order, so this all gets rearranged once they come. I'll make special room for them, Greg. And I know the edges will be perfect. So after Greg talks to his production people, he sends them back to the shop. It's 10:30. He says, go have lunch, and then by 2 p.m. come back and tell me what you come up with.
If you watched the video earlier, we had a little issue about some blades that went out of the house not as sharp as they should have been, lacking a little bit of finesse that we want. And this can happen when your team grows. It can happen when there's a lot going on. You can have some tribal stuff slip off the reservation a little bit. We had some drift in process, and we just wanted to engineer a way to fix that. So we let you guys kind of see behind the curtain how we address that. And then this is the response.
So what these guys come back with is brilliant at their sort of level of expertise. It's actually a pretty good solution. What they are planning to do is one will grind one day, then the next guy will grind the next day, and then the first one will like check the quality of the work of the next one. And they'll rotate, so every 4th day, one of them will be grinding the edges. And it sounds like a good idea, but Greg, what you did, these guys did their part, and I applaud them. But what you did is equivalent to General Eisenhower asking 3 corporals and a sergeant to plan an invasion of Europe. Okay, and then there was this. What started as a very promising sort of attempt to face the issue ended up like this. Watch.
And to the guy who put up, which was a slightly cunty video, it's fine. I harbor no animus. The guy buys our knives, and I'm happy that he's a customer. If you decide to take down your video, cool. I would prefer to not become like perpetually slandered, besmirched for part of the human condition of handmade. But if you leave it up there, that's okay too. I'm not afraid of it. I tackle any little, I consider this bullshit. It's bullshit because 1, that it happened, it makes me mad. 2, nobody talked about it with me in a gentlemanly way. 3, went right to tattletale in the public forum, which I think is just a straight up cunty move, and I'm not a fan of it. But, and you're absolutely right, you buy a $600 knife or $585 knife, you shouldn't have to encounter that. But they're handmade and they're made by human beings.
Mr. Medford, Greg, I'm not taking the video down. I know you believe in freedom of speech, judging by your videos, and so do I. So what I will do is 2-3 months from now, I'm going to walk into a store, and I absolutely am confident, like 100% confidence, that if I ask them to show me 3, 4, 5 recent arrival Medford knives, they will all have a perfect edge. That, sir, will make a great video as well. And once I publish that video, the old one will definitely come down. I promise you that. Here's an excerpt from an old video. And the gentleman in it is no other than Sal Glesser, the founder of Spyderco.
We'd say that the edge is the blade. The blade is there so the edge doesn't break off. The handle is there so you can control the edge. When you select a knife by looking at the handle, you're looking at the wrong end of the knife. A lot of people get married that way, but that's another story.